Hey, what's up, people? What's up, YouTube? What's happening? Dave Coleman here, getting ready to kick off the show here in about 20 seconds. So get ready, let's party, let's have a good time. All right. Got a great show lined up for you today.
It's time for the weekly sports page with the dynamic David.
Here we go.
For thrills, chills, and yes, spills. Oh yeah, and a whole lot of other great
Here we go.
855-525-5683. Tweet your questions at Dynamic Sports PA or Facebook. Drop a line on Dynamic Weekly.
Good morning, Miss Leela.
And groove while Dynamic drops sports in your ear hole.
Get ready to have a good time, have a good show. I haven't even put the bumper music for today. I'll have to figure out something. Oh, I got somebody. What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? All right, here we go. All right, coming to the bridge. Boom. Good morning, Central Arkansas. What's happening? It's Dynamic Dave in the hizzy. It's the weekly sports magazine. Yeah, we back to claim the mothership. I am the mothership connection. Oh yeah, I'm doing a little P-Funk up in here today. No, that's not the bumper music though. I'm sorry. I'll have to tell y'all about that later on, okay? I got some goodies for you, though. I promise you. All right. But before we get started, we have to do our weekly shout-outs. Of course, I've already shouted to Little Central Arkansas, but let's go to South Arkansas and shout out to El Dorado, Pine Bluff. Some people listening outside of the state, they're like, are those actually cities? Conway. That's west here of Little Rock. Of course, Magnolia. That's where I went to school, by the way. And now let's go east to Atlanta, Columbus, Georgia, Philadelphia, PA, Pittsburgh. Hey, what's up? Big game up in Pittsburgh this weekend. Make sure y'all check that out. Pittsburgh and Dallas. We're going to talk about that game later on, by the way. New York City what's up? Nowlands. Man, I'm making gumbo next week. I bought my andouille sausage, got my little shrimp, laissez-faire les bon temps roulé, baby. Yeah, we're going to make some gumbo coming up next week. Miami, by the way, my son in Pensacola. Hey, I got some great news about my son in Pensacola. He's going to Hawaii. No, not Hawaii. Yes, he is. And why am I so giddy about that? Because, Dad's got to take a flight. But anyway, let's keep going. What's up, Dallas? How y'all doing? Houston, how you doing? My boy Kim Muntz down there in Houston. Plano, what's up, Kim Davis? How you doing? Classmate, by the way. Let's go west. Seattle, Washington. Let's go to San Francisco and holler at my girl, Rodessa. How you doing, girl? How y'all doing up there? The city of the Golden Gate, one of my favorite cities. Can't forget about my peeps in Oakland. Kathleen, what's up? Yeah, we do this every Saturday morning. We'd like to give shout-outs to people who touch base with me or talk to me or call me or listen to the show. Can't forget about it, Los Angeles. And my girl Hansel Harris, a big business owner out there. Dr. Rosie Milligan, good morning. How you doing? I don't know if you're up, but giving you a shout out anyway. She's actually coming to Little Rock. You'll hear more about that. Dr. Rosie Milligan, publisher, author, next June, Father's Family Affair. Hey, go to the website of fathersfamilyaffair.com, by the way. And of course, oh, I see, Leela, you think I forgot about you, don't you? Hey, Lone Oak. LA, baby. Lone Oak, Arkansas. How y'all doing out there? You're listening to the Weekly Sports Magazine. This is how I do my thing every Saturday morning. Yeah, this is how I relieve some of my pressure. Because you all know I'm a serious brother. So I got to come in on Saturday mornings to kind of kick back, relax like a fat rat, old school style, and talk sports. And man, do we have a show for you. It's just all me, but you can call the show at 855-525-5683. Tweet me at Weekly Sports Mag. And of course, if you're on Facebook Live, we're doing the show all morning long, the full 2 hours, unless we have some technical difficulties. Those things do occur from time to time. But we're going to have some fun all morning long. Now, you all know what I like to do about this time. It's 8 o'clock. You're probably sleeping in. Your girl or your guy next to you done looked at you and said, man, what you listening to? But if they're not up, reach over and pinch them on the butt and say, hey, Dave Coleman's on the air. Get up. Listen. Call your girlfriend. Call your boyfriend. Call your mama. Call your daddy, because we're going to have a good time. And call me, 844-855-52. Hey, I almost got my old radio station phone number right there. 855-525-5683. And we'll see if we can get Larry Ridley on the show. Oh, what's up? My son's listening. What's up, Keely, Pensacola? Hey, man, you got them tickets yet? We're going to have a good time for Thanksgiving here in Little Rock. That's right. I'm kicking back and grilling good. I'm having a good time. Appreciate everybody joining the show this morning. Spread the word. Talk about the Titans upsetting the Packers. And, hey, we got the dynamic pay dirt picks coming up later on. I don't know if I picked the Titans or not. Well, check and see. I picked the Packers. I'm sorry, Keely. We're going to get all that in. Check out the pay dirt picks. Razorback fans, you're not going to be happy. Okay? And also, I'm going to go in on UAPB. We're going to bring it home a little bit. We're going to give them a little dynamic dish. There was an interesting piece that I posted on the Weekly Sports Magazine Facebook wall. And, you know, complaining and not doing nothing to solve the problem doesn't solve the problem. UAPB alum. Yeah, you're going to get mad at me this morning. Yeah, you're going to get mad at me this morning. Oh, and one other thing. Now, you all know that this is a sports show, and I typically stick to sports. But, of course, I'm political. You know, I'm an activist. So I've got to throw my political thing in it. But it's not going to be me. I'm going to let you listen to a famous and whom I think is the best head coach in franchise sports, period, across the gamut. NFL, NBA, hockey, baseball. This is the best coach, Greg Popovich. And we're going to listen to the full interview on what he said about the election. It's profound, folks. It's profound. So yes, we're going to have a controversial show today. But of course, we always have a controversial show, because that's how we do it up here on the Weekly Sports Magazine. So we got to go. We got to take a break. Of course, we got to take a time out and pay the bills. Please listen to the spots. Please support our sponsors. Do all of those things. But, hey, are y'all ready? Are you ready for a fun show? I'm fired up because y'all know I'm headed to Hawaii, baby. Yes, I is. Oh, man. My kids are going to be here in 2 weeks. First time I've seen both of them together in a long time. I'm just giddy. I'm sorry. Can't help it if y'all aren't happy. Smile a little bit. Go take a hot shower. Well, let me take that back. Maybe you need to take a cold shower. Anyway, let me shut up. I'm having too much fun this morning. Hey, it's the Weekly Sports Magazine. We're taking the time out. We'll be back in a moment. UnjoinedRadio.com.
If you could help a young father attend college, how much money would you be willing to give? $50, $100, $500 maybe? How about just $10?
Hey, Keela, I'm not a hater. Just because I had to pick your Packers, I don't pick with my heart, I pick with my head. So don't be getting mad, okay? Sorry. I'm just not sold on I'm not sold on your Titans and their defense. They're terrible. Come on. That'll be a good game, though. I'll watch the game. Call me at 855-525-5683 if you want to comment. If you want to say something on the air, we'll put you on live. I want to remind people that you can also tweet me at Weekly Sports Mag. Do that as well. And we will repost the show with my overlays and everything on YouTube so you can see that. Now, let me tell people. A couple of people asked me why I haven't been posting the videos from YouTube on Facebook. What you don't understand is there's a technological war going on between YouTube and Facebook right now, all right? Where Facebook, now with us being able to do Facebook Live, they tend to downgrade all of YouTube posts. So if you've been watching, if you notice when you see videos on Facebook, rarely are they YouTube anymore. They are called Vivo, V-E-V-O, all right? So just be aware of that, okay? So when you can go out to YouTube, there's a YouTube channel, Weekly Sports Magazine. You can go out to that and check out all my videos for the show. All right, I post all of those. See, Keelan, I'm telling you, don't get mad at me because I'm picking the Packers, man. Come on, I'm sorry. You know Mariota's going to throw like 10 interceptions and he's going to fumble 5 times. Come on. Don't be hating. Call the show. Since you want to talk so much noise on Facebook, call the show and talk to me. Hey, Corey, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining me, man. Hey, Violet, thanks. Appreciate you joining me. Oh, we got to get our music. I'm sorry. All right, we're getting ready to come back here. All right, here we go. We're coming back with some of our bumper music. Let's see if we can make it funky for y'all. Now, because you know we always play the best old school bumper music in the universe. So here we go. Ah, yeah. Y'all see, y'all don't know nothing about that. Come on. Welcome back to the Weekly Sports Magazine. I am Dynamic Dave. A lot of things going on today, a lot of headlines to talk about. I mean, where do we start? Of course, as I told you in the preview, that we are going to play a video, an audio of Greg Popovich and what he said post-election. That's pretty interesting as well. There are some big games going on this week in the NBA, in the NFL, and college football. We are going to talk about those as well. By the way, Chiefs tight end Greg Kelsey fined $24,000. If you hadn't seen that tantrum from last weekend, it's definitely worth seeing for sure. There's been a lot of fines. Of course, Richard Sherman was fined, I believe, $9,000 this past week for his hit on the kicker. And you know, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is much to do about nothing. Okay? Now, you can call Richard Sherman a dirty player if you want. I didn't see it as that. Here's a guy that was offsides. Typically, when you're offsides, they don't blow the play dead unless it's unabated to the quarterback. All right? So in this particular case, it was a field goal, and Richard Sherman was unabated to the holder and the kicker. In his football mind, he was thinking that, wait a minute, if they get the kickoff and it's good, then the game's over. So he, as you can see in the video, reaches back and puts his hand on the football in order to try and keep the kick from happening. In doing so, he fell into the kicker. Now, it's not Richard Sherman's fault that the correct things were not called. And those out there who want to say it was done intentionally, shut up. I am so sick of people whining about stuff that goes on the football field. Oh, they got a bounty going on. Well, wake up. That's been going on for decades. And believe it or not, it's still going on. And wake up. The kicker is a football player. If he's hurt, unfortunate, it wasn't something that Richard Sherman tried to do. So get over yourselves. Please. Okay? Can y'all do that for me? Quit. Everything is just so hyper. It's just over the top on everything. Oh, he did it on purpose. Oh, he tried to kill him. Oh. And some of y'all hadn't put on a football helmet, ain't sweated, ain't did anything. You roll in the grass and you get a rash. Yeah, I'm on fire this morning. Don't get mad at me. Anyway. Oh, there was a little college basketball this weekend. Of course, good game last night. Indiana beats Kansas in overtime, 103-99. And of course, this game was played in Hawaii, if I remember correctly. Yesterday it was Veterans Day, and certainly I want to throw out my thanks and all of those accolades to veterans. Of course, to my son, who's a veteran as well. Thank you very, very, very much for your sacrifices and your belief in this country should be great for everybody. I'm just saying. Y'all will get that here in just about. But yeah, college basketball has started as well, so we'll keep you updated on things that happened last night. And some darn good football, I was going to say, darn good college basketball games already as we move forward to the road to the Final Four. Always fun as well. Also a game last night in that Veterans Day Classic was Arizona outlasting Michigan State 65-63. So both good games. I missed the first game, but got to check out the last game with Kansas. It's going to be a fun college basketball season for sure. Let's see what some of the news in the NCAA. Of course, a lot of college basketball, football games. Now I'm thinking college football. A lot of college football games going on today. The Ole Miss A&M football game is going to be the game with two backup quarterbacks. If you hadn't heard that both of those quarterbacks are out for the year. So that's a game that ought to be interesting, of course. UNC was upset by Duke. North Carolina, that was like I think it was Thursday night. That game happened as well. And surprise, 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 there are teams who are looking to get Jim Harbaugh back into the NFL. Of course, Michigan has a huge buyout on his contract. Here's the funny thing about it. When it comes to college and NFL, right now the NFL is literally printing money. So regardless of the buyout that Harbaugh may have on his contract, the NFL can come in and match that easily. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. And of course, I know Michigan fans are panicking. No, not my sacred coach Harbaugh. No, it can't happen to us. Yeah, it can. Yes, it can, my friend. So those are just a few of the headlines. We're going to do some more. And I tell you what, stick around. When we come back, I want to go ahead and play this Greg Popovich interview that he had. And let's get that out of the way. We might try to get Larry Ridley on this morning to talk a little NBA as well. And of course, we're going to talk lots of NFL, lots of college football later on in the show. So you stick and stay for that as well. Hey, Blackberry, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Just gave San Francisco a big shout out. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be doing that. I know I'm doing radio and I'm talking to people on Facebook. Facebook Live, so you can check it out. Got to meet, and by the way, Blackberry is a pretty darn good musician in the San Francisco area. So, and got to meet him a couple of years ago when I was out there in the Bay Area. So, thanks for watching, man. Appreciate it as well. So, look, tell you what, we need to go out and take a break. When we come back, as I said, we're gonna play this Greg Popovich interview. Okay, and you know, I know a lot of people are upset about the election and all this stuff. You know, but at the end of the day, the sun still came up. But I wanted Greg Popovich to, I wanted you all to hear this interview with Greg Popovich, because I think we have to start asking some serious questions about what our values and our morals are. At the end of the day, you know, whether it's sports, whether it's treating how we treat people, we've got to start asking some serious questions. And it's coming from a very good a person that I think is one of the best humanitarians and one of the best coaches across all leagues in the world, Greg Popovich. You got to hear this interview. So we're going to go out, take a break. When you come back, we're going to play it in its entirety. I want you to hear it. If you have not heard it, you can tune in to Join That Radio right now and hear this stream. Of course, if you're on Facebook Live, you may not be able to hear it over the overhead speakers, but we'll do our best on that as well. So let's go ahead and take our next break. You're listening to the Weekly Sports Magazine on joinnetradio.com.
Remember what happened last year?
Yeah, Gramps, we had a great time.
Yeah, and then it started death in the process.
What are you talking about? There was plenty of food.
Yeah, food and good.
You didn't know kickers were football. See, that's a cruel joke, Bear. Cruel. I don't really respect them either. Maybe that's why people are whining so much about them. Because, you know, they are football players. They're just little short men on the field with football equipment on. Oh, that was me. I've got some pretty good. I've got some nice friends who are kickers. Okay, come on, Bear. How dare you drag me into that muck and mire? Okay, we're gonna play this Greg Popovich interview when we come back.
Oh yeah. Hey, business owners and entrepreneurs, our illustrious leader, JC Love, is so excited he's put together a 5th anniversary advertising package just for your business. Me personally, I think he's lost his ever-loving mind. Here's what you get. 3 months of advertising, 3 times per day, Monday through Friday, and we throw in weekends just for kicks. We blast your business on the Join That Radio social media network. Live mentions on
Got a great bumper music coming back for you here in just a moment.
live interviews throughout the duration of the ad cycle.
What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Check me out.
Package is only $300.
By the way, if y'all haven't went to a fathersfamilyaffair.com and made a $10 donation, if you're listening, please do that as soon as you can, okay? And you don't have to just do $10. Make more than 10, all right? Spread it around, man. Spread it to your friends. We're going to have a good time. We need to raise some money. $10, that's all I'm asking you to do. $10.
Heads up, people, join us.
Oh, speaking of which, listen to this.
2017 for a Father's Family Affair. It's a day to accentuate, celebrate, and motivate positive fathers in our community. On that day, we'll uplift and show some love to the dynamic men in our lives, our brothers, uncles, fathers, and friends. Support this event with your tax-deductible contributions. Proceeds for the event go to Part of the Solution, a great nonprofit right here in the Little Rock area. Tell a friend, tell your church, tell everybody Friday, a father's family affair, June 8th, 9th, and 10th, Philander Smith College campus. Come out and enjoy a day of hula hooping, water gun fights, and Zumba dancing, along with a uniquely natural hair fashion show. Black Riders on Tour, Southern Edition, featuring Kendra Norman and Dr. Rosie Milligan. That's just the start. We'll see you there June 8th, 9th, and 10th. Go to afathersfamilyaffair.com. Don't miss it.
Yeah. You're a bad, bad missus in your skin-tight britches. Ow! Yeah, this is how we do it on the Weekly Sports Magazine every Saturday morning. Yeah. About 1975, they were called the Ohio Players. Skin tight? Y'all know what we talking about. That's some funk up in here. Yeah, y'all think I'm crazy. No, I'm not on anything. I'm not drinking coffee. I drink good old agua fria. You know what that is? It's cold water, fools. Y'all crazy, man. Come on. Sorry about that. Having a good time up in here. By the way, it is the Weekly Sports Magazine. 855-525-5683. That's how you get in touch with me if you want to talk sports this morning. But right now, what we want to do, I want to play this interview. This is the San Antonio Spurs head basketball coach, Greg Popovich, when he talks about, and he's talking post-election. And I'm not going to mire the show down in election talk, and typically because it's a sports show. But I think I really respect Greg Popovich, not just as a coach and what he's done on the basketball court, but as a person, as a humanitarian as well. And the fact that he would come out and be so public in his environment is fascinating to me and speaks volume of the type of leadership that this man is, and why you understand now, I think, why so many guys want to play for Greg Popovich. So let's listen to this interview. When we come back, if you want to call and talk about it, you can. This is really the only real foray that we're going to make post-election today. But I just think it was something it just needs to be talked about as well. So, and I had it up, and give me a moment here while I refresh this and get it going. But it's just so profound for him to talk about it. So here we go.
You say what you need to say and speak your mind. Because of it, there may be people that feel like you speak for them, that your voice carries weight, even if you guys say the same thing. Do you feel that at all? And if so, do you accept that responsibility?
I just try to react when I think it's appropriate, and try to be real and try to be fair.
With that said, there are a lot of people right now that may not be feeling, good about certain events that happen this week. I think you know what those events are, and they want to know how you feel about it. Do you feel the same way? Minorities, people just around.
Way too much credit.
They care.
I don't think my voice is that important.
It is.
I've spoken on this before, and I probably will again, but right now I'm just trying to formulate thoughts. It's too early. I'm still sick to my stomach. And not basically because the Republicans won or anything, but the disgusting tenure and tone and all the comments that have been xenophobic, homophobic, racist, misogynistic. And I live in that country where half the people ignored all that to elect someone. That's the scariest part of the whole thing to me. Got nothing to do with the environment and Obamacare and all the other stuff. We live in a country that ignored all those values that we would hold our kids accountable for. They'd be grounded for years if they acted and said the things that were said in that campaign by Donald Trump. I look at the evangelicals and I wonder, those values don't mean anything to them? All those values, to me, are more important than anybody's skill in business or anything else, because it tells who we are, where we want to live, and what kind of people we are. And that's why I have great respect for people like Lindsey Graham and John McCain, John Kasich, who I disagree with on a lot of political things, but they have enough fiber and respect for humanity and tolerance for all groups to say what they said about the man. And that's what worries me. I get it. Of course we want to be successful. We're all going to say that. Everybody wants to be successful. It's our country. We don't want to go down the drain. But any reasonable person would come to that conclusion. But it does not take away the fact that he used that fear-mongering and all the comments, from day one, the race baiting with trying to make Barack Obama, our first black president, illegitimate. It leaves me wondering where I've been living and with whom I'm living. And the fact that people can just gloss that over and start talking about the transition team and we're all going to be kumbaya now and trying to make the country good without talking about any of those things. And now we see that he's already backing off on immigration, on Obamacare, and other things. So was it a big fake? Which makes you feel it's even more disgusting and cynical. That somebody would use that to get the base that fired up to get elected. And what gets lost in the process are African Americans and Hispanics and women and the gay population, not to mention the 8th grade developmental stage exhibited by him when he made fun of the handicapped person. I mean, come on. That's what a 7th grade, 8th grade bully does. And he was elected president of the United States. We would have scolded our kids, we would have had discussions and talked until we were blue in the face trying to get them to understand these things. And he is in charge of our country. That's disgusting.
I know personally.
I'm not done.
Sorry.
And one could go on and on. I mean, we didn't make this stuff up. He's angry at the media because they reported what he said and how he acted. It's ironic to me. It just makes no sense. But so that's my real fear, and that's what gives me so much pause and makes me feel so badly that the country is willing to be that intolerant and not understand the empathy that's necessary to understand other group situations. I'm a rich white guy, and I'm sick to my stomach thinking about it. I can't imagine being a Muslim right now, or a woman, or an African American, a Hispanic, a handicapped person, how disenfranchised they might feel. And for anyone in those groups that voted for him, it's just beyond my comprehension how they ignore all that. And so my final conclusion is, my big fear is we are wrong.
Wow. That's Greg Popovich, the head basketball coach for the San Antonio Spurs. If you have not heard that interview, it's all over the internet, of course, Facebook, everything. And a very, very profound interview. And I'm going to take a few minutes to comment on that interview right now, because, of course, we all witnessed what we witnessed on Tuesday night. And me personally, many of my friends kind of knew me, and I was not surprised because I understand the mentality of this country. But I think Popovich was profound in talking about the misogyny, but even more so, and I want to read this specifically again. I look at the evangelicals and I wonder, those values don't mean anything to them. All of those values to me are more important than anybody's skill in business or anything else, because it tells who we are or how we want to live and what kind of people we are. The evangelicals and how you could get behind this man and his wife is really demoralizing to a lot of my friends, because they and I at one point looked for the good in every person. As I've gotten older, I no longer do that. I'm more practical. And I can only judge a man by his, or a woman for that matter, his or her actions. And usually accompanied with your actions is your speech. And for this man to be elected president of this country is a bit disconcerting. Now, will it affect how I live my life from day to day? No, it will not. I ask my friends, think back, even with President Obama, what specifically did President Obama do that affected your life every day? Or President Bush? Or whatever president that you lived under. I've lived under presidents since Nixon. Well, I guess since Johnson, now that I think about it. But very few have. Now, if you go back to Johnson, of course, signing the Civil Rights Bill, that affected my life on a day-to-day basis. But what other presidents? What other presidents have done so? They don't. But I think the president should set a moral compass for America. And this man doesn't. He simply doesn't. There's no morality in him. It's clearly, you look at his past, you look at the things that he's done, you even look at the things that he said, even what Popovich delineated in that interview is abhorrent at best. But he's the president of the United States. So while all and everybody is upset and genuflexing about Donald Trump being elected, I think you need to start looking to your left and your right. I think you need to start looking at your friends. I think you need to start looking at the people that you're going to lunch with, that you're going to dinner with, and start having some serious conversations. Because if you begin to have serious conversations, then you'll begin to identify with what and how they feel. Because when you realize they told you how they felt in this election, they told you that you all need to stay in your place. Now, you can sit around and be mad about it and be upset and point your fingers because somebody didn't vote or someone didn't vote or this, that, and the other. That's irrelevant to the point. Because see, if you're so feeble-minded to believe that one man can control your destiny, then you need to be controlled. Donald Trump doesn't control me, never has, never will, nor did President Obama or any of the others. We can control our own destiny if we band together. So stop complaining. Get off your knees and do something. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to the weekly sports magazine on joynetradio.com.
Business community, get involved with A Father's Family Affair as a corporate sponsor. Go to afathersfamilyaffair.com to review the various levels of corporate sponsorship. A Father's Family Affair takes place June 8th through the 10th, 2017 on Landis Smith College campus. On that day, we'll accentuate, celebrate, and motivate positive fathers in the community. We can't do it without your corporate gifts. Your sponsorship can be a tax-deductible contribution supporting the nonprofit organization part of the solution. We've set it up so every business owner, regardless of size and scope, can get involved. from vendors to food trucks and beyond. Your sponsorship will help provide a $1,000 scholarship for a single father. Don't miss this great opportunity. Go to afatherfamilyaffair.com for details or call 615-554-0568.
Hi, I'm Andrea from Sweet Soap, located in the River Market. Are you planning a holiday party and don't want to deal with the fuss of fighting traffic, grocery shopping, and the food preparation? Let Sweet Soap take care of all your holiday needs. Call me at 501-291-9996 and let's discuss your holiday desires. Dinners, cakes, pies, oh my. We promise to tickle your taste buds and your guests will be thrilled. Don't wait till the last minute and miss out. Remember Sweet Soul and be sure to stop by our location in the River Market weekdays to enjoy breakfast and lunch specials. Call me, Andrea, at 501-291-9996 or check out website littlerocksweetsoul.com. Sweet Soul in the River Market. I will see you there.
I'm Crystal C. Mercer, and I listen to the weekly sports page with dynamic David Cole.
Hey, y'all hang on,
Hey
Coach.
friends, let me tell you how I discovered Coleman's.
When I come back, we're going in on UAPB, University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. I got to go here, all right? We're going to save it for next hour, but since we're in this discussional stage, we'll do it this hour, okay?
An original sitting above the meat counter. Took it home, then logged on to ribrub.com for some great recipes. If you've tried Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub, I don't have to tell you what a hit my ribs, chicken, and burgers were. If you haven't, what are you waiting on? Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub is not just for grilling. Get one of the convenient flavor seal bags and try it on veggies and snacks. It's a dry marinade, so add a little or a lot, but make sure you add Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub to whatever you're cooking, and you too will say bake it, grill it, shake it, oh yeah. Log on to ribrub.com
All right.
and get great recipes and store locations. That's Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub at ribrub.com.
LeBron James is the greatest player we've seen this generation. You have to be careful when you start saying, when he wasn't as good as Mike, but he wasn't as good as Magic. Every generation you get that. You begin to sound like that old man that lives down the street, and every time you walk on his yard, or you even walk by his yard, he's on the porch, and he's got that little crooked finger, he's like, get off my lawn! Get off my lawn! Join me Saturday mornings at 9 for the Weekly Sports Magazine on JordanRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Weekly Sports Magazine. Little Funky Worm with the Ohio Players this morning. They are our guest band today. We play the best old school bumper music in the universe, and of course, get a lot of requests from people out there. Say, man, why don't you play this? Why don't you play that? And sometimes I don't ever know what I'm going to play when I walk through the door and get I just get an epiphany, and that's what I did this morning. I had no idea who I was going to play, and then it hit me Ohio Player, so that sounded good. Appreciate everybody joining me on Facebook Live and so on and so forth. Today, I want to talk about the UAPB Golden Lions in this segment. Now, next segment, we're going to do the next hour, we're going to do the dynamic pay dirt picks. We'll get more into the NFL, the college football schedule. We'll talk a little NBA as well. So a lot of stuff still to go in the next hour. But I want to go ahead, since we talked a little bit about the Greg Popovich interview, which is profound. If you have not heard it, please go out and check it out. I think we really need to do some soul searching when it comes to what we are calling our moral fiber in this country. We just are. All right? Just because someone can talk a good game doesn't mean that they need to be. Listen who's telling me to play some Marvin Gaye. Come on, it ain't Marvin Gaye Day. It's Ohio Players Day. But anyway, let's talk about the UAPB Golden Lions. And this segment is called the Dynamic Dish. Every week we pick a subject that's going on in college, pro, sports, and highlight it and offer commentary. So today we want to talk about the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff Golden Lions. And no doubt the Golden Lions faithful will be very, very mad at me once I finish. But I hope not, okay? Because I think what I have to say will benefit you if you move forward. So let me just give you a little background. And let me do this. This is in response to an article that was released on, I want to give you the website, hbccampaignfundnews.com. And it says UAPB alumni fiery over continuous football losing streak and raises voices for a new head coach. Okay. So let me tell you, first of all, by getting a new head coach at UAPB, and just because head coach Monty Coleman has my last name, that we're no kid. So let's kill that right now. So those of you who are listening say, well, that's David Coleman. That's Monty Coleman's cousin. No, it isn't. Okay. But if you get a new head coach, it's not going to solve the problem that's going on at UAPB. Okay? Now, you probably say, well, what do I have to say about it? Why do I have to, who am I to talk about UAPB? Well, a lot of my family members went to UAPB. My very first homecoming game that I ever attended in college was at UAPB homecoming. Back in, I don't know, 68, 69, somewhere in there. Versus Prairie View. I'll never forget it. It's so crazy. Not only that, I played against UAPB in the old AIC. Had tons and tons of friends who played for UAPB. And tons of family members that attended UAPB. As a matter of fact, my first cousin, John Graham, is the band director at UAPB. So I have a vested interest in UAPB. And most importantly, it's a historically black college. So, this is why I'm making these comments. Because you're right. I totally agree with the people in this article. I totally agree that they have been getting trounced. It's embarrassing. It really is. I mean, they got beaten 70-0 by Grambling. I mean, it's embarrassing that would happen. Under Monty Coleman, their record right now, let's see, their record right now is, I don't know, I'll find the record. Oh, 7-22 over the last 3 seasons. They are the worst penalized team in the NCAA subdivision, following their past season of having too many interceptions. That was last year. The squad has been called for 77 penalties through 7 games of the season. Just unreal. So the product that you're seeing on the field is certainly bad. And I don't begrudge any fan. If I were covering UAPB, I would wince at watching a football game that bad. Now, there's no excuse for lack of discipline. There's no excuse for not trying. But it makes it a little harder when you're undermanned. Now, what do I mean by that? You say, well, wait a minute. UAPB gets the same amount of scholarships as any other school in that division. Yeah, they do. The problem is you have to fund those scholarships. And the research that I've seen and done, and people that are in the know about UAPB, that quite a few of their scholarships are not funded. Did you hear me? Quite a few of their scholarships are not funded. As a matter of fact, the athletic director held a fundraiser during homecoming. Lonzo Hardy is his name. And their goal is to raise $320,000 in fulfilling 63 scholarships so that student athletes can excel further and compete against other teams in the SWAC. In other words, if all the other schools are fulfilling their scholarship numbers and UAPB has half, UAPB is not going to compete on the field. More importantly, UAPB is not going to be able to go out and recruit athletes because they only have a limited number of scholarships. Not because they can't afford, not because that they're under some type of sanction, but they're simply not funded. They're not funded. So UAPB alum are up in arms. I understand. You ought to be mad. Your team is getting trounced. They're dog poop on the field. Let's be real. You should be very upset. But on the other hand, is that athletic department getting all that it needs to be successful? Is it? And are you doing all that you need to do to help it get successful and continue to be successful? Running an athletic department is big business. And if money is not coming in from games, concessions, alumni, and the support from that state entity, something's going to have to get cut. And right now it's the athletic department, which affects football more than anything. So if you're complaining about Money Coleman, I understand. You ought to be mad. You ought to be upset. You want your team, because I'm going to tell you, I don't care how many scholarships I have, my team should be able to line up and not get 77 penalties. If nothing else, you're going to lose respectfully. If you're going to lose, you're not going to lose because you're causing problems for yourself. Now understand, part of the reason you get those types of kids is because you can't go out and recruit the better kids because you don't have the scholarship. But I think what Money Coleman needs to do more so than anything else is to make sure that the kids that he have on that team is leaders and they do the things that they need to do to show that they are successful on as well as off the field. But I'm going to tell you, when you're on a team, and I'm fortunate, I've never been on a team where I've been just beaten, down, dog whipped in the dirt. So I can't relate to that. But I imagine if you're constantly getting pounded and pounded and pounded week in, week out, after a while, that takes a toll on you psychologically. You don't practice the way you play. You don't concentrate. You don't do any of those things needed to prepare for a game coming up that next week. Because you know going in most cases, you're going to get the dog crap whipped out of you. And there's nothing you can do. So let's say, for instance, give you an example to show you how important this is. You know, part of the reason Alabama wins constantly is not because they're so much better than everybody else. They win because they have depth. We've had, if you know anything about sports, the most important part of a team is the bench, that second string player. When the head guy goes out, the starter, what made Golden State so great last year is that when Steph Curry, those guys went to the bench, that bench came in and, man, they rocked the house. And if you look at that team this year, just to use this analogy, that bench is no longer there. They're struggling, but they're still going to be okay. But the point being is that if you don't have depth, you're not going to compete. Now competing at the subdivision level where UAPB plays, depth is going to be an issue all the time. Okay? But when you're running low on scholarships, when you don't have the money to go out and recruit, and get those players in that can supply you with some prime first line players, let alone 1 or 2, 3, 4 second line players, you're not going to compete. Give you an example. I did play-by-play for 2 years for Tennessee State University. And I watched that team up and down the line. It would whoop up on teams in the OVC. But if, in fact, it got to go to the playoffs, most of the time it would get dominated. The 1 or 2 times that I saw. And one of the problems that Tennessee State had early on was depth. Had great players, frontline players at the beginning. Dominic Rogers-Cromartie. Does that name ring a bell to you? I covered him at Tennessee State University. All right? He's now a star cornerback. I think he was at the Cardinals. I think he's at the Giants now. But the point being is that during that process, Tennessee State decided that they were going to start not only recruiting frontline players, but depth, second and third string players. Now, my very good friend Rod Reed, who is now the head coach of Tennessee State, has done a wonderful job building that program where they're competing year in and year out. And because they're competing because they have built that depth. And not only that, the alumni comes back and supports that school. It's just amazing what they do for that school. Now, I'm going to ask you UAPB fans. Now, I'm not an alumni, but I want UAPB to be successful because I have so many roots and ties to UAPB. If you're serious about your school, if you're serious about it competing, if you're serious about it moving forward, as opposed to looking like a high school team, then you got to put your money where your mouth is. You need to write a check to your athletic department. That's just the bottom line on it, folks. If you want them to compete, if you want them to be able to get out there, and even if let's say the state was covering their entire budget, you still ought to be writing a check to UAPB. By the way, if you don't know, there is a mission going on across the country to kill all the HBCUs. Y'all better wake up. So you better start writing a check. Just saying. You can complain all you want. When Homecoming Show was here a couple of weeks ago, I mean, Pine Bluff was packed. How many of y'all wrote a check to the athletic department? How many of y'all write a check to the band department? How many of you all write a check to UAPB, period? You want to come down and have fun at their expense? You want to see your old friends, you want to eat hot dogs and do all those things, buy t-shirts and, oh, I'm UAPB alum. But you don't want to write a check. And then when your team is not competing, you want to complain and you want to fire the coach. I'm going to tell you, you can fire Money Coleman. I'll be honest, those numbers are terrible. He deserves firing. But number one, who's going to want that job when they understand what the budget is about? Who's going to want the job? I'm asking you a serious question. And number two, if someone takes the job, when they realize how far they are behind all the other schools that they compete against, they will begin to look for something else. So you're going to go through this dance the next 4 years or the next 4 years until you decide to write a check. I'm sorry, I hope you're not mad at me. But we got to get real here. We got to get real about supporting our personal institutions, our own institutions. And UAPB is an embarrassment on the football and basketball field, courts and field. And it shouldn't be that way. They ought to be able to compete just like SAU, UA Monticello, Arkansas Tech, all of them. They ought to be able to compete in that arena. In fact, they ought to be on the level as UCA. But you know what? We don't support our people with our dollars. And until we start doing that, we're going to continue to suffer. And so will UAPB. So we got to go out and take our top of the hour break. We're going to do that right now. Got to find my mice here. I got so many here in the studio. We're going to do that right now. That's the dynamic dish. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll point that out to some of the UAPB alumni out there as well. I'm willing to do anything I can to support UAPB. No, and I'm not an alumni. But if you got something going on, you ought to be calling this station. You ought to be advertising on this station. Our doors are wide open for UAPB. Where y'all at? We can work together. We can help build something for our people. You can't just bitch, whine, and complain. You can whine all you want, but faith without work is dead, folks. I'll be back. You're listening to the Weekly Sports Magazine on joynetradio.com.
June 8th through the 10th, 2017 for a Father's Family Affair. It's a day to accentuate, celebrate, and motivate positive fathers in our community. On that day, we'll uplift and show some love to the dynamic men in our lives, our brothers, uncles, fathers, and friends. Support this event with your tax-deductible contributions. Proceeds for the event go to Part of the Solution, a great nonprofit right here in the Little Rock area. Tell a friend.
Hey, what's up, Facebook? Appreciate everybody joining me this morning. 1 hour to go. Akili, I am not playing any Marvin Gaye this morning.
Water gun fights, and Zumba dancing, along with a uniquely natural hair fashion show. Black Riders on Tour, Southern Edition, featuring Kendrick Norman and Dr. Rosie Milligan. That's just the start. We'll see you there June 8th, 9th, and 10th. Go to afathersfamilyaffair.com. Don't miss it. If you could help a young father attend college, how much money would you be willing to give? $50, $100, $500 maybe? How about just $10? Hi, my name is David W. Coleman, and in conjunction, a Father's Family Affair.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk some NFL. We're going to talk some college football as well. We might talk a little NBA. We might do that.
Go to afathersfamilyaffair.com now to make a tax-deductible donation. Your small tax-deductible gift of $10 can make the difference in a young father furthering his education as opposed to
Some good college football games today.
can make the difference in a young father dropping out.
See, what's up, Ryder? Thanks for joining me, man. Sade, no, Akili, I am not playing Sade this morning. Okay? Don't you have something to do? You can make requests. Look, you can make requests for next week's show.
Go to afathersfamilyaffair.com to review the various levels of corporate sponsorship. A Father's Family Affair takes place June 8th through the 10th, 2017, on Fernandez Smith College campus. On that day, we'll accentuate, celebrate, and motivate positive fathers in the community. We can't do it without your corporate gift. Your sponsorship can be a tax-deductible contribution supporting the nonprofit organization part of the solution. We set it up so every business owner, regardless of size and scope, can get involved. From vendors.
Eventually, we'll start streaming with my overlay. It's pretty smooth. You'll like that. Don't forget, people, go out and make a $10 donation to a fathersfamilyaffair.com. Do it. It's tax deductible, by the way. All right. All right, we're coming back here in just a moment.
When you're making $455 million off these student athletes, all you come up with is $5,000. John Calipari makes $8 million a year, and his players are going to get $5,000. The majority of these teams are white men and white males and females. Would this be happening? And I would say no, because their families wouldn't let it happen. But we're letting our kids get connected.
Join me Saturday mornings at 9 for the Weekly Sports Magazine on joynetradio.com.
Dynamic Sports PA or Facebook.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Dynamic Weekly Sports Show. Sit back, relax, and groove while Dynamic drops sports in your ear hole. Now here's Dynamic David Coleman.
Yeah, welcome back to the Weekly Sports Magazine. Our number two, dos out of. That was my broken ghetto black Spanish. We're having fun here. We do it every Saturday morning. It's the Weekly Sports Magazine on joinnetradio.com. By the way, if you want to listen to the show, all you got to do is go out to the weeklysportsmagazine.com or journetradio.com and check that out. Of course, you can catch me live on Facebook. I'm here every Saturday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Of course, we just started streaming the show live on Facebook. Works out pretty good. I also record the show for my YouTube audience as well. Unfortunately, I can't stream both of them simultaneously with the software that I use. That might be interesting. Something that they could write into the software. But hey, what am I complaining? It's a free piece of software. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things to talk about today. Of course, this hour we're going to focus heavily on football. That's the college and pro kind as well. Of course, dynamic pay dirt picks are coming up at the bottom of the hour, about 8:20. We're going to talk about those as well. By the way, if you want to get involved with the dynamic pay dirt picks, I post them every Saturday morning. They are already posted. All you have to do is post your picks and beat me. Okay? I pick against the spread, and you must too as well. And all you have to do is beat me, and I send you a dynamic gift box. Now, what's a dynamic gift box? It's go out to ribrub.com. That's RIBBRUBB.com, and you'll see what it is. But I'll tell you, it's a box that has all of my products: rib rub, rib nuts, all three flavors: that hot and spicy, original, and scorching, fry batter, rib juice, rib nuts, and rib mix. Now, rib mix is basically a Chex mix that I mix together. The rib nuts are peanuts sauteed in my rib rub. The rib juice is my barbecue sauce or grilling sauce that's made out of my rib rub. It's really delectable. You'll enjoy it, okay? So that's how you beat me. Those picks are coming up at the bottom of the hour. One other quick thing before we go to our next break, and then we're going to get into some NFL and some college football. I do want to remind people, you've been hearing their commercials. If you are on Facebook and you have are my friend, you have probably been seeing the logos for a Father's Family Affair. I hope you will go out and participate. The whole point of this is to accentuate, celebrate, and motivate positive fathers in our community. The website is afathersfamilyaffair.com. That's how you get all the information. We've been updating information as we go. We just added some more information. So since last week, we added the new logo, which is pretty nice, the Uniquely Natural Hair Fashion Show that's going to take place that day. That's the 10th. And that's going to be Jenny Love, who is here at the station, and of course Lady Karen Hayes. She will be over that. So if you have a young lady that has some natural hair, you need to get in touch with her. Get in touch with one of those two ladies. You can go out to the website. There's contact information about how to do that. And we'll be posting some rules and guidelines for you to download as well. All right? Also, we're going to have what is called Black Writers on Tour. Black Writers on Tour is a author's celebration that emanates out of Los Angeles, California. It's been going on in Los Angeles for 25 years. I have been a participant, and yes, believe it or not, I'm an author. I really am. I've got one book out, and I'm writing 2 others. In fact, I've got 3 copies of my book. I'm going to give that book away, one of those copies here real soon as well. But we're bringing Black Writers on Tour to Little Rock, Arkansas. It's a huge event, and not only are we bringing the name, we are bringing its founder, Dr. Rosie Milligan. She will be here as well to talk about writing, publishing, and every and all the ins and outs you need to have for publishing a book. All right. Not only will we have Dr. Rosie Milligan, we will have Bishop Kendra Norman. Now, Kendra is a very dear friend of mine, so excuse me if I drop the title, but we met years ago at a book conference and stayed friends, and she and her husband have a wonderful church in Columbus, Georgia, if I remember correctly. But the other thing about Kendra is she is a writer. As a matter of fact, she's a Christian romance novelist. Okay? She just released her 25th book, Blondiva's Boys. And Kendra has been on the New York Times bestsellers list. So those are 2 heavy hitters that we're bringing to Little Rock for the conference. Thirdly, for that book conference, we have our own Patrick Oliver. Now, Patrick grew up in Little Rock. He has the website Literary Nation. He has traveled around the country supporting and birthing, writing and reading for young African American children. It's fantastic. It's great what he's been doing. It's great what he's been doing. So we are excited to have Patrick Oliver as well. Well, look what the dog drag did. have a seat right there at the mic. Excuse me, one other moment. And lastly, we have a great lady by the name of Janice Kearney. She is a literary giant here in the Little Rock and Southern area. So those are just a couple of things that we're going to have for A Father's Family Affair. Okay? So go out to the website, afathersfamilyaffair.com, and it'll give you all the information, and you'll be getting more and more information as time goes on. Okay? But we were going to take a break, but I looked up, and I guess he thought he was going to walk by me and wasn't going to speak to me.
You were doing the show.
And something like that.
Bother you.
So this is those of you who have listened to the show and prior to the move, our good friend Austin Allen, right? Ashley, where did I get Austin Allen from? But Austin Ashley is in, and Austin worked for the station a lot during the summer and trained him, and this is his first time at the new digs, and good to see you.
Good to see you.
So what'd you think?
It looks great, actually. I'm really excited that you guys moved out here.
Yeah, it's really, really nice, and we tell people all the time we're happy to have people come and visit. We are in a building with the Arkansas Minority Health Coalition as well. So people ask, well, where are you? I just tell them to come to the Minority Health Coalition. So what brings you down here this morning?
Actually, I was going to the Arkansas commitment meeting today,
Okay.
and I was going to come by.
Mm-hmm.
I really was.
That's all right. You don't. I know you done blew up and probably got real famous and stuff. You don't know nobody anymore. That's all right.
Just been really busy with a lot of schoolwork.
Right now, I know this is your senior year now, right?
Yes.
Have you decided on school as of yet?
Not as of yet, but I've been applying to a lot of schools, just waiting to hear back, see if I got accepted.
What's your preference?
I'm not quite sure just yet. I have applied to a wide variety of schools.
But you don't have one in particular that you just want to go to?
I've been looking a lot at Wesleyan University out in Connecticut.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah. So I've been looking a lot out there. I heard they had like a really good writing and psychology program and stuff. And they also have a really good scholarship with creative writing.
Yeah.
So I was going to apply to that. Hopefully I win, but we'll see.
Well, congratulations on that, and keep in touch. Next June, that's what I was just talking about. It's funny you say that. We're having a writers' conference here in Little Rock, So I don't know when you may or may not be leaving, but hopefully you'll stay in touch now that you know where we are, and you can get involved. That we've got 4 very prominent authors and publishers who are coming to Little Rock at Philander Smith College June 10th of next year to talk about writing and publishing and all of that stuff. So, and of course, I don't know if you know, but I'm a published author also. So we're bringing all that here to Little Rock. So stick and stay. But anyway, Austin, I just want to holler at you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And now that you know where we are, right now, all of our shows, this is the only show we do right now on Saturdays for the time being. But we'll be adding some more here real soon. So, all right. But I just thought I'd go in and holler at you and so on and so forth. And next time you see me, just say hi, dog, kiss my foot, or or kick me or something. Okay. All right, man. Good seeing you. Talk to you later. All right, man. We're going to go out and take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into some football, okay? Y'all think I've been procrastinating, but we are going to get into some football when we come back. And we'll, of course, get into our picks as well. All right. You've been listening to the Weekly Sports Magazine on JoyNetRadio.com.
Get involved with the Father's Family Affair as a corporate sponsor. Go to afathersfamilyaffair.com to review the various levels of corporate sponsorship. A Father's Family Affair takes place June 8th through the 10th, 2017, on Philander Smith College campus. On that day, we'll accentuate, celebrate, and motivate positive fathers in the community. We can't do it without your corporate gifts. Your sponsorship can be a tax-deductible contribution supporting the nonprofit organization part of the solution. We've set it up so every business owner, regardless of size and scope, can get involved, from vendors to food trucks and beyond. Your sponsorship will help provide a $1,000 scholarship for a single father. Don't miss this great opportunity. Go to afathersfamilyaffair.com for details or call 615-554-0568.
Hi, I'm Andrea from Sweet Soap, located in the River Market. Are you planning a holiday party and don't want to deal with the fuss of fighting traffic, grocery shopping, and the food preparation? Let Sweet Soap take care of all your holiday needs. Call me at 501-291-9996 and let's discuss your holiday desires. Dinners, cakes, pies, oh my. We promise to tickle your taste buds and your guests will be thrilled. Don't wait till the last minute and miss out. Remember Sweet Soul and be sure to stop by our location in the River Market.
All right, we'll be back here in about 2 minutes.
Call me.
We're going to talk a little NFL, a little college football, and we're going to throw in our dynamic pay dirt picks as well.
In the River Market. I will see you there.
I've already got one person mad at me because I didn't pick their little funky team. Sorry.
The weekly sports page with dynamic David Coleman.
Hey friends, let me tell you how I discovered Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub and learned to bake it, grill it, shake it, oh yeah. I recently planned a family get-together, but my caterer became ill. We had pounds of meat, but nothing for seasoning. I rushed to the grocer and found Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub, which comes in 2 great flavors, hot and spicy and original, sitting above the meat counter. Took it home, then logged on to ribrub.com for some great recipes. If you've tried Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub, I don't have to tell you what a hit my ribs, chicken, and burgers were. If you haven't, what are you waiting on? Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub is not just for grilling. Get one of the convenient flavor seal bags and try it on veggies and snacks. It's a dry marinade, so add a little or a lot, but make sure you add Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub to whatever you're cooking, and you too will say bake it, grill it, shake it, oh yeah. Log on to ribrub.com
30
to
seconds.
get great
Here we go.
recipes and store locations. That's Coleman's Dynamic
Got my
Rib Rub
all-time
at
Ohio player
ribrub.com.
song coming back.
LeBron James is the greatest player we've seen this generation. You have to be careful when you start saying, and so he wasn't as good as Mike, or he wasn't as good as Matt. Every generation you get that. You begin to sound like that old man that lives down the street, and every time you walk on his yard, and you even walk by his yard, he's on the porch, and he's got that little crooked finger, he's like, get off my lawn! Get off my lawn! Join me Saturday mornings at 9 for the Weekly Sports Magazine on JohnNetRadio.com.
Oh, sookie now. Little Ohio players. This is my favorite Ohio player song. Yes, Akili, I played Fire. I played Fire at the beginning of the show. If you wouldn't have been sleeping in and listening, you'd have heard it. But my favorite is I Wanna Be Free. Yeah, Ohio Players 1976. The oldies but goodies. I tell y'all every Saturday, they don't do it like this anymore. No, they don't. The writing, the arrangement, the production, the music, you name it, they did it. And they can't do it today. But that's another story. Anyway, all right, this segment we want to talk sports. We want to talk football. As Keith Jackson would say, it's football time. No, that's John Ward, as a matter of fact. It's football time in Tennessee. Yeah, okay. That wasn't a very good John Ward. But anyway, a lot of things to talk about there. A lot of good games. And, of course, as you all know, I only pick top 25 in big games, okay? I pick 4 college and I pick 4 pro. So right now my record for the year is 31-27. I was pretty good. I was like 21-11 at one point. The last 2 weeks, I basically stunk up the joint, okay? But I'm going to try to get back up on that horse. So what I'm doing right now, folks, sorry, Facebook Live, I just realized that I'm about to run out of power, so I don't want to lose you guys. So let me plug in my little doohickey here and rearrange it so you all can see me. You know, this plug is not in the best places. Okay, that's not too bad. Hopefully that'll stay. I don't know if it will, but we'll try it and see. All right? Okay, but anyway, so I'm 31-27 right now. That's my record for this year. It's 4 games above 500, but it isn't the greatest. Okay? So we're going to do a little bit better today. We put out some picks. Remember, if you want, there we go, that's much better. If you want to participate, just go out to Facebook, Weekly Sports Magazine, log on to the page, and throw your picks out there. You got to, now pick some early games this week. Typically, I like to get them picked before, if I pick some 11 o'clock games, and I did this week. So they are already posted. In fact, I posted them this morning. So go out and check them out. Let me know what you think as well. All right. So now let's start with just an update on some of the games that's going to take place today. And let's start with college football, if you don't mind. And there are some interesting games, and we'll review quickly the SEC and the games that's going to take place in that conference. And first of all, I guess it's weird if you don't know that Alabama-Mississippi State game is the early game. It starts at 11 o'clock today. And certainly they're pushing the hype of with Mississippi State upsetting Texas A&M last week. That can they upset Alabama? All right, I tell you what, you get your nickels together and I'll get my nickels together, and let's see. And if you think that Mississippi State is going to upset Alabama, I got a bridge to sell you in China. Okay. Now here's a weird thing. It is a 29.5 point spread. That seems like a lot of points, but if you're Alabama, you don't care about the spread. You just want the win. That seems like an awful lot. So, and before I get into that, really, let me do quickly the playoff rankings from this past Tuesday. Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, and Washington. So all of the people that are undefeated are at the top of the poll. And unless one of them loses, that'll probably end up being what it is. Of course, Louisville has already lost. Ohio State is 5th. Louisville is 6th. Wisconsin 7, A&M 8, Auburn 9, Texas, Penn State is number 10. All right. So unless one of those schools lose, but I'm gonna tell you like this: if Alabama loses, they're still gonna be in the top 4. All right. If Washington loses, it's gonna be really, really dicey for them, simply because they play in a very, very poor conference. The Pac-12 is abysmal this year. As a matter of fact, if you go down there, and I'm just looking at all of the polls right now for this week, the only other school that's in, well, let me take that back. Oh, yeah. Washington State is in the CBS Sports poll at number 17. And there's Utah. I think Utah's in the Pac-12 as well. But their conference schedule is pretty bad. All right? So those are your top 4. The only other 2 schools that I think have a chance is Ohio State. Certainly they have a better chance than Louisville. But Louisville is right there as well. So those 2 schools right there are the schools that will have a better chance to get into the conference playoff. But quickly, let's review the SEC games for today. South Carolina at Florida. That's a big game simply because Florida needs to hang on if they want to play in the SEC championship game. They're 6-2. They are a game ahead of Tennessee. But the thing is, Tennessee has the tiebreaker over Florida because Tennessee beat them earlier in the year. So Florida cannot have or mess up and have a stumble for the rest of the season. And when you look at Florida's schedule for the rest of the season, it could get pretty dicey because they still have to play at LSU. All right, that's the makeup game that was originally supposed to be at Florida, but because of the hurricane earlier in the season, they moved it. You have to play it, so they chose to play it at LSU. And then, of course, their last game is that weekly rival with Florida State, which is not that big of a deal. So Florida, basically after today, the other big game is LSU, and because they're playing at LSU, that's going to be a tough football game for them. All right. We talked a little about the Alabama-Mississippi State game. The other thing is Alabama is playing at home, so for Mississippi State, a team like that, to go into Alabama and upset them, that ain't happening, folks. That ain't happening. The other game of interest, the 11 o'clock game, Kentucky at Tennessee. We talked a little bit about the importance of Tennessee trying to win a game, hopefully Florida losing a game. If Tennessee wins out, what they've got Tennessee, I believe they've got Vanderbilt left. Tennessee potentially can win out, but that team has been helter-skelter. Jalen Hurd, the number 1 running back on that team, has transferred 2 weeks ago. His mom and family members are all on the social media ranting and raving and stuff like that. And of course, Tennessee fans having a field day at the expense of that young man. I'm telling you, we need to start paying attention where we send our kids to school. I'm just saying. The other game, Vanderbilt and Missouri, not a big deal there. Auburn at Georgia. In the past, that would have been a very, very big game. Stranger things have happened, but Georgia is not that good of a football team. And of course, they are a 10-point dog at home. The other 2 games, Ole Miss at Texas A&M. The curious thing about this particular game is both starting quarterbacks are out. Okay, both starting quarterbacks are out for the year. Trevor Knight, he's out for the year with a shoulder injury. Chad Kelly is out for the year with a knee injury. So junior quarterback Jake Hubernick will start for the Aggies, and Shea Patterson will, and he's a redshirt freshman, by the way, will start for the Mississippi. So that particular game right there is of interest as well. Here in the area, LSU goes to Arkansas. Arkansas seems to play very, very good at home. I didn't pick this game in a dynamic pay dirt pick simply because I'm scared. I don't know. Arkansas is so helter-skelter. When you think this team has crossed the bridge to a good team, they do in Auburn. and then you see them do a Florida. You know, and to be totally honest, to me, Florida's not that good. But look, good game on their part. Can they do the same thing against LSU? I don't know. If they line up and try to run the ball down LSU's throat, they're not going to be able to do that. They're going to have to throw the ball. And that's into the teeth of LSU's defense. Arkansas basically has two plays: dive right, dive left, and play action pass rollout. That's kind of what they do. And they'll throw in a drop back pass every now and then. That's not a good formula. And I think LSU is hungry right now. If I had to pick, I'd pick LSU on this game. So that's the SEC update and what's going on today. We'll throw in those pay dirt picks in just a moment. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the NFL and what's going on in there this week. Of course, the Chiefs and the Panthers. The Chiefs go to the Panthers. The Chiefs scare me. Look, the Raiders are sitting atop the AFC West right now with a 7-2 mark. They are at home. They don't play at all this week when I say they are at home. But the Chiefs is a team that is quietly getting it done. They're 6-2. They go on the road to Carolina. You would tend to believe that would be a tough out for the Chiefs. But right now, we don't know what we're going to get with the Carolina Panthers. Okay? Also, a game that my son has been giving me heck about all morning is the Packers and the Titans. That will be one of my dynamic pay dirt picks. The Packers at the Titans. Some people think there's a problem going on with Aaron Rodgers. Other people think Mariota is not doing what he needs to do. I don't know. It's a tough game to pick, but I'll tell you who I'm going to pick later on. The other game, 12 o'clock game, the Vikings visit Washington. The Falcons visit the Eagles. This is an interesting game because the Falcons are playing very, very good football as well. The bloom is off the rose for Carson Wentz. All of the people who were and the Philadelphia fans that were on the bandwagon for Carson Wentz, all of a sudden, Carson Wentz is looking like we expected him to look. Not that good. A run and shoot quarterback that is really killing this league, in my opinion. Okay? The other another game. This is going to be one of my pay dirt picks as Wares. The Bears go to Tampa Bay, and we're going to pick that game later on. Also, let's see. Texans at the Jags. Broncos go to the Saints. This game is curious for me because I am an AFC West Oakland Raider fan, and the Broncos going to the Saints. You could see Drew Brees putting up a lot of points. If it comes into a scoring match, Trevor Siemian will not be able to match Drew Brees. On the other hand, what will the Saints be able to handle? Will the Broncos be able to handle the Saints offense, and will the Saints be able to handle the Broncos defense? Jets, they host the Rams. The Chargers, this is a pay dirt pick as well. The Chargers host the Dolphins. Cardinals host the 49ers. Cowboys travel to Pennsylvania to play the Steelers. This is also one of my dynamic pay dirt picks. Sunday night game, Seattle at New England. Ought to be a pretty interesting game. We'll see just how back Tom Brady is. And let's see, Russell Wilson has been struggling with a lot of injuries this year, but he looked better last week. We'll see how that works out for him. And last but not least, we'll have the Bengals and the Giants. So those are the headlines and updates for this week. We'll do the pay dirt picks here in just a moment. And let's go ahead and do that now. And let's start with college, okay? And let's see here. Let's get over here. All right, so right now my record for my pay dirt picks is 31-27. That's terrible. And it just goes to show you why I tell people that if you are putting money on football games, you are crazy. You just don't do it. You don't do anything that you have no control over. That's why I do it for fun. But I pick against the spread just to see how good I am. But I tell you what, I don't wager one red penny on them. Tain't gonna happen. Tain't gonna happen. Last week I was 4-4. So here we go. Let's start with college. Early game this week, Baylor and Oklahoma. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been an Oklahoma fan all year long. As a matter of fact, if you think back, I picked correctly, by the way, the win of the University of Texas in the Oklahoma game early on. I just don't like Oklahoma. I'm just not sold on them. Sorry, But they play Baylor. Baylor seems to be playing a little bit better football as of late. The spread, now remember, I pick against the spread. This is not a matter of who wins or loses. It's a matter of do they cover. And the spread is 17.5. I think Baylor is 6-2. They're playing at Oklahoma. If they were playing at Baylor, I'd go out on a limb and pick Baylor to win the game. But I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think it's going to be closer than 17.5 points. So I've got to pick the Baylor Bears. Okay? The next game I'm going to pick, two of these games, let's see, West Virginia and Texas. Okay? Now, the West Virginia, the Big 12 is what I was trying to get out. This conference just, I don't know. But two Big 12 games is what I'm trying to say. West Virginia at Texas. I know Charlie Strong is under a lot of heat. There are a lot of redneck folk down there want Charlie Strong out. You want the black players, but you don't want the black head coach. Doesn't that seem a little peculiar to you? It would to me. That would say, why am I sending my black players to a school that don't want a black head coach? But that's another. I digress. But I'm picking Texas to win. The line has already went down since I posted it. It's down to Texas a 1-point favorite, which is basically a pick 'em over West Virginia. West Virginia has quietly put together a pretty good season. They are 7-1. Nobody is paying attention to them, but I think Texas is up for a head rearing, and they're going to rear their head one more time, and I think they upset the West Virginia Mountaineers. All right, game 3. LSU is a 7-point favorite over the Arkansas Razorbacks. I'm sorry, Razorback fans, but Arkansas has been playing helter-skelter football. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde football. One day they're up, one day they're down. You don't know if they're good, you don't know if they're bad. One day they can run the ball, one day they can't. For me, in picking games, I don't like those kind of teams. LSU is on a mission. LSU has seemed to turn their season around. They are playing very, very good football for Orgeron, the head coach to be. No, he hasn't been named, but a lot of those kids want him there. The question is, will that happen? They go on the road. They play Arkansas. It is the battle of the boot. It certainly has taken away the significance of this game because it used to be played every year the weekend of Thanksgiving. Thanks, SEC schedulers. That kind of tells you how the SEC felt about your rival with LSU. But anyway, I digress again. In this particular case, when you look at this team, look, Leonard Fournette has not had a very good season. 2 years ago, Leonard Fournette was the guy to run the football, the potential Heisman Trophy candidate. This guy will hurt you when he runs over you. This guy runs mad. I don't think Arkansas's defense is going to be up to the task. And I don't think their offense is going to be up to the task. If they are, good for the Razorbacks. But I'm picking LSU -7 in this particular game. The last game, Louisville. Wake Forest. I'm not going to say much about this. Louisville is a juggernaut. Lamar Jackson, unless he falls down and, I don't know, breaks his neck or something, he's going to win the Heisman. The guy is unbelievable under Bobby Petrino. And, of course, a lot of Razorback fans are whining that, oh, we don't have Bobby Petrino anymore. Look what he's doing at Louisville. Yeah. He's a despot as well. But I forgot this country now doesn't care about morals and fiber. They just want to win. We know that now. So it's okay if a Bobby Petrino can go do what he did at Louisville the first time, leave, do what he did at Arkansas, get kicked out, and then go back to Louisville because he can win. But either way, I hope they win today. I'm picking Louisville at 34.5. So here are my college picks. Baylor plus 17, Texas -1, LSU -7, and Louisville 34.5. Now let's talk a little pro. I tell you what, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll do the pros, and then we'll give you a recap. You're listening to the weekly sports magazine on JoyNetRadio.com.
Bob with a Father's Family Affair as a corporate sponsor. Go to afathersfamilyaffair.com to review the various levels of corporate sponsorship. A Father's Family Affair takes place June 8th through the 10th, 2017 on Landis Smith College campus. On that day, we'll accentuate, celebrate, and motivate positive fathers in the community. We can't do it without your corporate gifts. Your sponsorship can be a tax-deductible contribution supporting the nonprofit organization part of the solution. We've set it up so every business owner, regardless of size and scope, can get involved, from vendors to food trucks and beyond.
All right. Thanks for everybody joining me this morning. Packers, what? I'm getting ready to do your pick right now. I'm assuming that's what you think. Titans 24-21. But see, you're a homer. You're a homer. I'm not a homer. You picking with your heart. I pick with my head. I'm getting ready to do the pro picks right now. Okay?
Grocery shopping and the food preparation. Let Sweet Soul take care of all your holiday needs.
Let's see here.
At 501-291-9996.
So you picked the Titans by 3. Let's see. The line, as a matter of fact, is the Titans are 3-point underdog. Okay?
Don't wait till the last minute.
You really went out on a limb on that one, little bear.
And be sure to stop by our location in the River Market weekdays to enjoy breakfast and lunch specials. Call me and Drill at 501-291-9996 or check out website LittleRockSweetSoul.com. Sweet Soul in the River Market. I will see you there.
I'm Crystal C. Mercer, and I listen to the weekly sports page with dynamic David Coleman.
Hey friends, let me tell you how I discovered Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub and learned to bake it, grill it, shake it, oh yeah.
All right, got about 90
Get
seconds.
together, but my caterer became ill.
Appreciate everybody joining me on Facebook Live this morning.
I rushed to the grocer and found Coleman's
We'll
Dynamic
upload
Rib
the
Rub,
other show
which
on
comes with
YouTube.
great flavors.
You can definitely go out and check out our YouTube channel.
Meat counter. Took it home, then logged on to ribrub.com for
Really want to start pushing that. We're going to start updating the website here real soon as well. We'll start going back to the weekly sports magazine.
If you haven't, what are you waiting on? Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub is not just for grilling. Get one of the convenient flavor seal bags and try it on veggies and snacks. It's a dry marinade, so add a little or a lot, but make sure you add Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub to whatever you're cooking, and you too will say bake it, grill it, shake it, oh yeah. Log on to ribrub.com and get great recipes and store locations. That's Coleman's Dynamic Rib Rub at ribrub.com.
All right, 30 seconds.
This generation. You have to be careful when you start saying, as though, well, he wasn't as good as Mike, or he wasn't as good as Matt. Every generation you get that. You begin to sound like that old man that lives down the street, and every time you walk on his yard, and you even walk by his yard, he's on the porch, and he's got that little crooked finger, he's like, get off my lawn! Get off my lawn! Join me Saturday mornings at 9 for the weekly sports magazine on JoyNetRadio.com. You know what I think heaven is? I think heaven is you.
Wow. Yeah. Happiness. Yeah, that's the Ohio players. Heaven must be like this. That's what we're doing this morning. They are our old school jam today. Man, I tell you, I just get inspired sometime and just pick something. And I'm picking the Ohio players today. Two of my favorites, I Want to Be Free and Heaven Must Be Like This. Go out and check that out as well. We're back. It is the Weekly Sports Magazine. Thanks everybody who's on Facebook who are watching the show, YouTube channel participants as well. Appreciate that. You can also, don't forget the dynamic Pay Dirt picks. That's what we're doing right now. You can win a gift box if you beat me. These picks are posted right now on Facebook. Just go out to the Weekly Sports Magazine Facebook page and you can see them for yourself. Now we just did the college. Let's jump right into the pros. Let's start with the game that my son is harassing me about. That's the Green Bay Packers travel to Nashville, Tennessee to play the Tennessee Titans. And of course, we have roots there, but just because I covered the Titans, have friends of the Titans, I'm not a Titans fan. But my son is a huge Titans fan, all right? Of course, grew up around them. But that, again, I pick with my head, not with my heart. I don't know what's going to happen with Mariota. One weekend he's good, one weekend he's bad. One weekend he throws 10 interceptions, one weekend he runs for 100 yards. You just don't know what you're going to get with this guy. I think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are on a mission. A lot of people have said, what's wrong with the Packers? The Packers are terrible. The Packers are this. Aaron Rodgers has lost his mojo. He's a subject of the conversation week in and week out. I think the Packers go down and they smack around the Titans. Of course, the Packers have a defensive problem. No doubt about that. But I still think if it comes down to a shootout, I think the Packers are better suited to win that type of game. I got to take the Packers +3. Okay, the next game I'm going to do, I go down to Florida, to Tampa Bay, and the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, the last time we saw Jay Cutler had a pretty good game. And even his wife tweeted out how you like something. She was mad and she was going at everybody who had talked about Jay Cutler because he's a terrible quarterback. Just because you have one game that's good doesn't mean that you've exorcised the demons that we've seen over the last 3 to 4 years. There's an old saying down in the country that the sun shines on a pig's behind every now and then. And for Jay Cutler, I'm sorry, he's a good young man. I covered Jay Cutler at Vanderbilt. I know him personally, talked to him personally. But the same Jay Cutler that we see in the pros is the same nonchalant, seem like I don't really care a guy that I covered at Vanderbilt. So this is the same guy. I think Jameis Winston is on the come. Yeah, they've got some offensive line problems, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I like the leadership qualities that Jameis Winston is exhibiting. I'm going to pick the Buccaneers, and they are a 2.5-point dog at home. Come on. I'm taking the Buccaneers on that. All right. The other game, afternoon game, the Chargers at the Dolphins. Now, I have a vested interest in this game because I am an Oakland Raider fan. And anytime an AFC West team can lose, I'm dancing a jig, dog, because I'm a Raider man. The black and silver. Just win, baby. But in this particular case, as much as it pains me to do so, I'm not sold on Tannehill and the Dolphins. And them traveling cross country is a red flag to me because we know, statistically speaking, those teams that make that trek typically don't do well. So the Chargers are a 4.5-point favorite at home. Phillip Rivers has been playing better football. Melvin Gordon has been running the ball great. Man, I got to take the Chargers as much as... Now, if they lose, it ain't going to hurt my feelings. But I don't think the Chargers are going to lose. All right? Last but not least, This will make someone sitting out in our lobby very happy. As much as I hated to do this. Remember, I pick with my head and not with my heart. It's the Sunday evening game of the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a classic rivalry. We've seen Super Bowl rivalries. Who's got the most ring? It's just a treat to watch Steeler fans and Cowboy fans go back and forth on Facebook. I just love it. And then, of course, I instigate on both sides. So for instance, last week, a very dear friend of mine who is a huge Steeler fan, I'm just going to call her name, Tina Hampton. She's in Pittsburgh. She flew up to Pittsburgh. She's from Little Rock. She flew up to Pittsburgh for this game. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. So, let me show y'all this. Look at this. Look at this. Our illustrious leader, JC Love, is coming here with his cowboy paraphernalia to irritate me. But that's okay. That's okay. We're going to set this right here. That's just terrible. I almost threw those things away last week. So here's the deal. So last week when Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger came back and he looked terrible, and she made a post on Facebook. What's wrong with my Steelers? They look terrible. What they do in the bye week? I said that they ate pizza and drank tequila all last week. She didn't like that. But then too, I like to rib my Cowboy fans as well. So here we are. Right now, we're gonna make a pick, and we're gonna pick the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, it's really amazing to me that they are. And you know what? I almost picked the Steelers, but the Cowboys are a road dog at 2.5 points. Look, Dak Prescott. You got to give credit what credit is due. Dak Prescott has played fantastic football. All right. Elliott has ran the football well. The offensive line has played well. And the defense has not given up a lot of big plays that may put them in positions where Dak must win. All right? They kind of mirror what the Raiders are doing. They run the football and they throw the ball to make big plays. Now, the Raiders throw the ball down the field more so than anyone else. But either way, you look at what's going on with Dak Prescott, you got to like it as a Cowboy fan. But on the other hand, in the background, you're still hearing these rumblings about Romo being the starter or coming back as the starter. I think that'll be a huge, huge mistake. So what do you do? Who do you pick in a game like this where the Steelers are 4-4 and the Cowboys are 7-1? Look, this is a desperation game for the Steelers. It really is. Because you cannot afford to go 4-5 and expect to make a run to the playoffs. It's just not going to happen. Right now, Baltimore has the inside track on you and record. So the Steelers, with this being a must-win game, man, I was thinking about the concern, what am I trying to say? The intensity that the Steelers are going to bring to this game today in order for them to win. But I just can't pick against the Cowboys and the way they've been playing. They're going to run the football, and they're going to and then too, you can't account for Dak Prescott either. I think the Cowboys make the Steelers look really, really bad. The line is 2.5 right now, but I'm sorry. I cannot see the Steelers winning this football game. Roethlisberger is still injured. Le'Veon Bell hasn't looked like Le'Veon Bell. Antonio Brown hasn't looked like Antonio Brown. This team is not playing very, very good football right now. And if I got to pick these two, again, I pick with my head and not with my heart. I've got to pick the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? So let's work backwards. Here are my pro picks for Dynamic Pay Dirt. Now remember, if you want to play, just go out to Weekly Sports Magazine, make your picks on Facebook. If you win, I send you a dynamic gift box. So here we are. All right. Packers +3. Sorry, Bear. Packers are going to beat the Titans. The Bucs, Packers -3. The Bucs +2.5. The Chargers -4.5, and the Cowboys +2.5. That still boggles my mind that they are a 2.5-point underdog. The Cowboys are. That's just kind of crazy to me. In college, my 4 picks are Baylor plus 17.5, Texas minus 1.5, LSU minus 7, and Louisville minus 34.5. Okay, there you go. Those are the dynamic pay dirt contest picks. I hope you enjoy them. The winner gets a gift box, of course. Right now, last week I was 4-4. I'm 31-27. I'm hanging in there, but just barely. So just think right now, if you were a gambling person and you bet money on football games, how you'd be sweating right now. And see, I do this just to show you that don't be idiotic and watch a football and bet your money on a football game, something you don't have any control over. I know people do it. There are millions of dollars that change hands every week in this capacity, but I'm just telling you, it's just stupid. It is. I do it for fun. All right? Okay. So that's going to do it. Well, we got a few more minutes to go in the show. Appreciate everybody for joining me on Facebook Live as you do every Saturday morning. I'm sorry, JC, I got to get this ugly cowboy stuff out of my face. I'm about to puke right now. But we're here every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. I also want to remind people that you can catch the regular programming for JoyNet Radio right after I leave, as well as all the other great things that go on here on JoyNet throughout the week. With the holiday season coming up, remember JoyNet Radio is a great place for you to advertise your business. All right? We have great rates, and I'll tell you, when we tell people rates, it kind of surprises them how affordable they are to get your business and information about your business on the radio. So all you got to do is call me. You can call 855-525-5683 and leave a message for JC Love or Jenny Love, or you can call me direct, 615-554-0568. And that can get you in touch, and we can put together a very, very nice advertising package for you that will make sure that we get the word out about your business across the country. Okay? Also, I want to remind people that you go out to afathersfamilyaffair.com and get more information about this great event. It's going to be June 8th through the 10th. There's some other information that's going to take place real soon. We will let you know about that, but you can always stay up to date and in the know on reaching out and looking and staying up to date on the Facebook page as well. So, and the website of fathersfamilyaffair.com. So make sure you all stick and stay for that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get ready and get out of here. It's been a fun show. Hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you listened to that. If you didn't get a chance to hear Greg Popovich and his thoughts, please go out and pull that down. I'm going to post that on my Facebook wall sometime today as well for those people who would like to hear it. You can also listen to the playback of the live stream. You can hear Popovich there. You can also hear my pay dirt picks. I want to thank everybody for listening. It's been fun. I really enjoyed doing this show for you all every Saturday. Spread the word. Some of you all are getting hip, but we need a lot more people to get hip to what's going on as it relates to JoyNet Radio and the weekly sports magazine. So thanks a lot, everybody, for listening. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Y'all have a great day. And remember, the ultimate measure, well, no, I don't want to do that. Let me just say this. In light of the election and people being upset and want things done and want things changed and everybody marching and protesting after the election, the question I asked you was, did you vote? Number one. Prior. Did you think this couldn't happen? Okay? But remember what Malcolm X once said. You get your freedom by letting your enemy know you're willing to do anything to get your freedom. Then and only then will you be free. That's the Weekly Sports Magazine. I'm Dynamic Dave. I will talk to you in the future. Peace.
Dynamic David